Yeah, I guess it's time for another listening stack before it gets any bigger. Um, Pretty exhausted this week. It's been a rough week at work. So let's just get started. Half new, half revisits, etc., etc. I've been buying up a bunch of these lately. So this is K Salvatore. This is really nice packaging. Pretty. This is a pretty uncommon record. Um, So yeah, everything's it's like hand laid. The covers are hand laid, handmade, fiber, paper, whatever. Pretty cool cover there. So this would fall into the kind of like avant-garde, free jazz, little. I don't know. These guys they get tossed into with genres on Discogs. They're all over the place. So I like to file them under jazz, but it's hard to describe. It's kind of very east. The earlier stuff is a little more Eastern. This is like an earlier. It has a kind of a Eastern, um, you know, Eastern music feel to it, I guess. They seem to be using a lot of kind of Eastern, like Japanese, Chinese type instrumentation. Um, it's but bordering on noise at times. This one's a little more of that Eastern sound, kind of minimalistic. Been enjoying that one. That one gets a 5 for me. Some of the other, K Salvador, they're a little hit and miss it seems. That one I really liked. But yeah, continuing on. Haps. I've seen this on the Final Comedian. I am so tired. Hapsash and the Colored Coat. It's self-titled, I think. I think this one's just self-titled. They have 2 or 3 releases. Pretty solid. I think it was 1968, 67, 68, around there. Late 67, early 68. So, I don't know. I think there's like a couple earlier releases. This is the Sundazed reissue from a year or two ago. There's still a few copies floating around, so if you're into Psych, worth picking up. Is it the best Psych album ever? No, but it's pretty good. Let's see, Sought After, Cult, OP, blah blah blah. It's a freewheeling spirit of summer, blah, 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 blah. Primal vocal chants and incessant tribal rhythms with proto-funk guitar and bluesy piano. Yeah, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting one. Is it the best Psych album? No, but it's pretty damn good. 4.5 ish. Yeah, so there they are on there. Kind of revisited this one. This was Sean sent this to me or sold it to me. I can't remember. Cleopatra Jones soundtrack. I started watching the movie. I don't know. It's all right. But yeah. So it's got J.J. Johnson and a bunch of soul jazz artists on here. Is it the best? Yeah, it's like it's black exploitation. You know what you're getting. Not the best soundtrack, not the it's not a super fly, but it is still fun. Pretty solid 4 there. I'd say. Yeah, this one. I think this is under Iggy Pop. But yeah, it's Iggy Pop with actually Bowie's on here. I'm doing piano, keyboards or something. This is it is under Iggy Pop. Yep, Iggy Pop TVI 1977 live. So this would have been done. This guy's 16. Yeah, so this would have been done after maybe his second solo album. So it's a combination of Stooges tracks and the stuff off of Lust for Life and was the one that had night clubbing on it. Pulling a blank. Anyway, so it's got TVI, Fun Time, 16, I Got It Right, Lust for Life, Dirt, Night Clubbing, and I Want to Be Your Dog, with Bowie on keyboard. So it's kind of interesting. This is yeah, it's co-produced by Iggy Pop and David Bowie. Not the best. It's no Metallica. It's kind of interesting. At the time, I picked this up for like $7. There was a reason, you know. I don't know. If you see it cheap, it's probably worth picking up, but I wouldn't go way out of your way. It's kind of hovering somewhere between 3.5 and a 4. It's every once in a while I'll throw that on. Not the best, not the worst. This one's a pretty damn solid 5 though. Maybe even higher, 5.5. So this is Joe Henderson featuring Alice Coltrane, Charlie Hayden, and Michael White. Yep, there you go. So excellent, excellent. Kind of modal, little free jazzy at times, but pretty popular on the VC. This is the Jazz Dispensary reissue from a few years ago. I'm not sure you can still get these easily. The price is definitely going up, and originals, of course, are kind of hard to come by. But highly, highly recommend this album. That's a great one. One I picked up in Japan. It's missing the Obi strip, but Japanese pressing. It's got the Japanese insert. Ornette Coleman Trio at the Golden Circle Stockholm Volume 1. There is, of course, a Volume 2. Shows up on the VC pretty often. Is it my favorite Ornette Coleman? No, but it's still pretty solid. It's one of his more accessible ones. I like his freakier ones for sure. In this one, I do kind of find the it's Charles Moffat on drums. I find it's a little too straightforward for my taste. I like the weird time signatures and whatever. But yeah, he tends to be pretty up in your face, which I don't know. It kind of for me it kind of just detracts from that, but it is still a pretty solid album. 4.5 easily. Charlie Hayden's Liberation Music Orchestra, arranges by Carla Bley. So yeah, big band. Of course, you know, Charlie Hayden again on bass. It's known for his free jazz work, and yeah, Carla Bley is pretty out there too. So you kind of know what you're getting. Kind of like very similar to the Jazz Orchestra, the one with I think that's what it's called, Free Jazz Orchestra. I forget what that was called. The one that had the silver cover on it. I got that somewhere in my collection. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty solid. I don't know. For me, you kind of have to be in that. Every once in a while, you're in that big band mood. It hits the spot. Pretty solid album. Another 4.5 for me. This one's got an interesting listen. I've shown this before, I think. Public Housing. I think this is just self-titled. Yep, I'd say so. Okay. Yeah, you can get these fairly cheap. So I think this came out a couple years ago. Smaller pressing, but you still can get them fairly easily. Basically no wave. Is it essential? No, but if you like no wave, you know, DNA or whatever it is, it's in that ballpark. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get this under $10. Four-ish. So it's not one I'd throw on often, but it's interesting every once in a while. This was some VCLT, so thank you, Sean. Bongzilla's Americanican, I guess. Ameriwanican? Okay. So kind of that stoner, desert, rock, sludgy stuff. It's almost like a hip hop album, but yeah, sludge. Yeah, we call it doom metal or doom rock or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, not their best, but definitely a band worth checking out. It's Bongzilla. Pretty solid 4.25. I don't know, but definitely not their best. Everything else I've streamed has been pretty good. Here's that other K Salvador I picked up recently. Got some other ones. So this is a newer one from a few years ago, I believe. So this one, like the other one, has a little more of a Eastern thing going on. This one's a little bit more on the noise end of things. I didn't find this one as interesting, but it's still good, but yeah, 4-ish. Again, I think that's silk screened or whatever. I don't think they pressed a lot of these. I think most of their albums I have about 300 in a run, single pressing for the most part. This one, personally, I didn't like it as much as the early stuff, but it's all right. So K. Salvatore, and I don't even know what this one's called. Soar Over Elk, I guess. I think that's the name of the album. It's interesting. Yep, and I got my sticker to clean this because it's, I think, an Italian pressing. Italian pressings always are crackly. I don't know. Bill Dixon in Italy, Volume 1. So reissue. The album, I think, was originally 1980. I think the originals are a little bit hard to come by, but I could be wrong. I bought this new a couple months ago. It was kind of hard to get at the time, but I'm sure there's still a few floating around. Pretty solid. This one's a lot more accessible than the stuff that came out just a couple years later. So free jazz, but this one's it leans a little more into the modal. It's a little more of a easier to get into. Not too far out there. So love those boots. Bill Dixon, Italy. Yeah, 4.5. It's pretty solid. I do definitely need to pick up some more Bill Dixon. I gotta go with CD because they're just hard to get on vinyl. David Bowie, Station to Station, probably my favorite Bowie. Yeah, Station to Station, obviously. That's the this is this coked out period. Solid 5. Don't need to go into that. This one was pretty damn good, actually. Music of India. I think it's like Southern India or something on here. Yep, it's the music of Southern India, and this is Music of India on the front. So I'm not sure what the title is. On None Such. Really, really good album. 4.5. If you see this, I'd pick it up. This was like a thrift find for me, but I looked on Discogs. I think they go in the $15 range. Probably worth picking up, actually. Highly recommend this one. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go way out of your way to get it, but yeah, it's definitely a step up from Ravi Shankar. If you like Eastern music, this is, let's see, performed by leading Indian artist S. Balanchandar and Siva Raman. So, yep. You know what you're kind of getting there. So 4.5. And then, yeah, kind of debating if I want to purge one of my Jim Croce out of my collection, just hold on to this. Pretty much, I think you could probably do pretty well with just this album. Everything on here is a banger. You got Bad Bad Leroy Brown, Operator, Photographs and Memories, Time in a Bottle. Yeah, Got a Name. You Don't Mess Around with Jim. Yeah, Roller Derby Cream. It's like they're pretty much all bangers. So that's a pretty solid 4 for a comp. Or sorry, solid 5 for a comp. Do I need the other ones? I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. I actually do really like Jim Croce. Anyway. This was VCLT from Sean, so thank you again, Sean. Joshua Abrahams and the Natural Information Society. This is a double CD. I think it was live. Yep, recorded live in Chicago, 2017. So, a little bit experimentally modal. He was on my radar, so thank you, Sean. I had some other stuff in my cart I didn't pull the trigger on. So without the Information Society, so I think without the Information Society, he gets a little wilder, maybe. But yeah, I really did enjoy this one. Yeah, 4.5-ish. It's pretty solid. Yep, revisited this one. Also, I think this was also Sean VCLT. That's some time ago. Yellow Swans. This is Adol Ends. Pretty solid 4.5. Drone. lot of stuff was just ended up being kind of background music. So yeah, this isn't offensive at all. Yeah, it works very well for background music if you're working or studying, which is what I've been doing. Working on my PMP, which is hopefully be able to take that test soon. I've seen that cover for this. I bought a whole bunch without a cover. Cooking with Miles Davis again. Not anywhere near my favorite Miles Davis, but it's pretty solid. Pretty tame stuff. And another one I was missing the cover for again. Thelonious Milk. Thelonious. I am so tired. Thelonious Monk. Thelonious himself. It says it falls between Brilliant. Brilliant Corners and Monk's music. In his catalog. Pretty solid 4. You know what you're getting with Thelonious Monk. Always solid. Yeah, it's pretty accessible for the most part. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop there. I'm exhausted, so it's been a week. Hope everyone's good. I got a really busy week ahead of me, so yeah, I'm gonna chill out a little bit, maybe read a little, and listen to some music. Call it a night, and I gotta cram in tomorrow. Later.